There were times where, I was in Cincinnati, my daughter was getting treated in Philadelphia. I would have to FaceTime her, watching her hair fall out, tubes hooked up to her. As soon as we hang up the phone, I would just break down and cry.
Yeah, welcome back to GMA3, and that was a clip from Man Enough to Care, featuring our next guest, former NFL star who left football, and he became, a full-time caregiver, if you will.
That's right, all for his daughter, Leah, who was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and now 5 years later, he is sharing his experience on the new series, which explores caregiving in America through the male lens. He is joining us now to tell us all about it. We want to welcome Devon Still. Devon, thank you so much for being with us today. And the first question is the most exciting question. Tell us how Leah is doing today.
She's doing great. This past March 25th, she finally hit her 5-year mark, so she's officially declared cancer-free, so she's doing really good.
That's awesome.
And we all remember the story so well, and everyone hearing that news loves hearing it. But as you can put that smile on your face, do you still go back to what happened at the beginning and when you were first getting the news and when you were first hearing from doctors about what the chances were? How much do you still think about those early days and what might have been?
I think about it often, but it's in a good light now. When I used to think about it, it used to haunt me. But now that we're, 5 years cancer-free, I go back to it just because I feel like I need to tap in to do that for the work that I'm doing with our foundation, where we support families who are battling cancer. So being able to go back to what I experienced and then share with those families the things that we did to overcome those tough moments is very important.
The series, I love this, the Man Enough to Care. It's all about tearing down those traditional voices that we all hear that, about masculinity and focusing on men as caregivers. So what do you want people to know, and how has it changed after you've taken care of your daughter for all these years? What is the definition of being a man?
Yeah, one of the things that I loved about this series is Wayfair Studios and Caring Across Generations really created a safe space for men to really talk about the things that we struggle with, and one just being caregivers. I had no idea that about 40% of caregivers are actually males. So being able to talk about our struggles and being able to share resources with each other is very important. And I think that the message that I want to share with men out there or caregivers is understanding that vulnerability is the true strength. It's a struggle for caregivers just as much as it's a struggle for the people they're taking care of. And when you're able to talk about these things, you're able to uplift each other and gain the resources that are necessary in order to make it through this.
And now you are sharing your story, and you're encouraging others and other men, young men, to be vulnerable. But let's be honest here. How difficult was it for you to do that, to be that kind of vulnerable?
Yeah, it was extremely difficult because growing up as a man, a black man at that, and an NFL player, we're taught to really battle a lot of the things that we're going through internally. And a lot of people praise me for the things that I did when Leah was battling cancer, but there were things that I struggled with, and being vulnerable was one of those things because I felt like I had to be the rock. So when there were times I wanted to break down and cry in front of Leah, I wouldn't do it because I wanted to be strong for her. And when I was writing my book, she actually told me that she was doing the same thing with me. There were times where she wanted to break down and cry when we were FaceTiming when I was in Cincinnati, and she wouldn't allow herself to do it because she wanted to stay strong. But as soon as we hung up the phone, she would start to cry. So that taught me that I need to be more vulnerable and really share what I'm going through. Allow myself to have weak moments, but don't let it turn into a weak mindset.
That is so beautiful. I actually feel like I'm going to cry right now. You all have done such good with Leah's story as well. Back in 2015, I know that you all founded the Still Strong Foundation to give grants to families who had childhood cancers. Why was that so important? How's the foundation doing?
Just being inside the hospital really opened up my eyes to a lot of the struggles that families who are battling cancer go through. And families are literally in the hospital fighting not to lose everything, like their house, their car, while they're also trying to do everything to save their everything. So I wanted to start a foundation where we can financially assist those families, because bankruptcy rates are 260% higher in households who are battling cancer than the same households without cancer. So I wanted to start something where we can give families financial aid so that they can focus on championing their child through this disease.
Devon, absolutely bless you for what you're doing, your entire family, for just being as open as you all have been. You're helping so many other folks. but we couldn't be happier to get the news about how you guys are doing, man. We hope to see you all back here on GMA3 at some point. Please give our best to the entire family, all right?
Oh, we will. Thank you for having me.
All right, and Man Enough to Care is available to watch now on the Man Enough to Care site and on YouTube.
Beautiful man, beautiful story, beautiful family.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.